You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. And if you'd like to listen to this in a still position, just allow yourself to take all the time that you need to arrive there. And let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, or move in whatever ways your body wants to move. As you just do your best to not think about the movements, but more letting your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones, muscles, joints, in your organs, maybe. Just trusting any instincts you have for movement. And if what your instincts are saying is, or if what your instincts are calling for is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And there's also no rush whatsoever. You can keep moving throughout this practice anytime you feel the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already and would like to, you can make your way to a still position. And just checking in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take a moment now to mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional cleansing breath. Calling in fresh new air into the body and almost watching yourself as you fill up to every corner and edge of you, getting as full as you can get of air. And holding that for a moment once you are full to really just sit and experience what it feels like to be full right now. And then as you need to, slowly letting it all go. Exhaling bit by bit. As you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here to now sit and experience the sense of emptiness in the body and allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this slow and exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. And not worrying at all about the actual length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of these 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. So not holding yourself to any expectation of how long you think you should be able to breathe in and how long you think you should be able to hold it. It's not a competition. It's just exploring what your breath is like, what the baseline of your breath is today, and simply exaggerating it, expanding it slightly, pushing its limit just slightly, and seeing how that feels when you think that you're full, but you just expand your belly just a little bit more to take in one more moment's worth of air. And before exhaling, just seeing if you can hold off on that for one extra moment and stay in that fullness for a moment longer than you might normally. And then as you exhale, even once you think that you're empty, seeing if you can push out one more little bit of air and resting in that quiet, empty space at the bottom of your exhale and allowing the next breath to come as it's needed. Just knowing and honoring how your body is today. Knowing that it will be different each and every time you show up for yourself and for any type of healing practice. Because we are constantly shifting and changing. And so honoring who you are right now, becoming curious about how you are right now. And at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow yourself to step into the role of the observer or the role of the witness, into that perspective or point of view where you are no longer guiding or controlling the depth or rhythm of your breath, but you are simply witnessing the fact that your body is breathing. As you remember that our breath is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so as you let go of that voluntary guidance that we just had over the breath, and you simply observe the automatic process of your body breathing you, you can remember that observing your breath and being in tune with your breath will always automatically bring your attention, bring your awareness into this present moment. It will always connect you with what is happening right now. Since your body breathing and your heart beating will always be happening in this moment. Everything that you perceive through all of your senses will only ever exist in this present moment. And so when we find ourselves getting really wrapped up in the mental world, or maybe in the physical world, if our mind is ruminating or wandering, or making plans for the future, or worrying about the future, or thinking about the past, regretting the past, or maybe if there's pain present physically in the body, our mind will naturally want to fixate on these problems. But just know that the moment you notice the mind is fixating or it is ruminating, that moment of awareness in itself brings you back to this present moment. And in that moment, you can make the decision to turn your focus to what is physically here right now, what you can perceive about this moment, knowing that your own perception is entirely unique and specially designed for you to take in. There's nobody else in this world who takes in the world and the environment in the exact same way that you do. And that in itself is special, and it's noteworthy and a gift to be appreciated, to be remembered and appreciated. And so just take some time right now to become curious about what it is that your ears are hearing. Focusing more fully on sound. Even if you're in an environment that's rather quiet. Listening closely to all of the sounds that still exist within silence. All the different layers of sounds that exist. Even if you're in an environment that is rather noisy, and maybe there are sounds that you first label as annoying or distracting. Just practicing allowing every sound that you hear to just be another reminder to you of this moment. To be another part of your own personal symphony. Appreciating the unique shape of your ears. Remembering how your attention and your focus changes what you hear. How you can tune in to specific sounds and drown out others. And you can let your awareness dance from sound to sound, focusing in closer where it's naturally drawn until its attention is brought somewhere else and focusing there. And as you are listening to your external environment, you can start to also listen and notice the sounds of your internal environment as well. And the unique combination of the sounds you hear outside of you along with the sounds you hear inside of you, no matter how faint they may be. Your gentle heartbeat, maybe the pulse in your ears, the sound of your gentle breath, maybe your organs digesting food. And as you're noticing your ears, your physical ears, and the unique shape of them, you can let your awareness travel into both of your ears and in past the eardrums and through the ear canals as you let your awareness meet at the space between the inner ears, at the very center of the skull. And let your awareness rest on maybe a slight pulsing sensation here as you allow your jaw to soften and all the muscles in the face just ungrip from the bones. And even if it's just for a moment, allowing yourself to exist exactly as you do. Noticing anything at all that you can see right now, even with the eyes closed maybe. Wherever it is that your gaze is resting, at the world outside of you or the world inside of you. Just letting your gaze rest and almost glaze over so that you are just watching and being curious about what it is that you see. And there's no need to label anything at all that you are seeing or have opinions or judgments about anything or to see anything specific at all. But witnessing whatever is in your sight. Becoming curious of what exists in your own personal mind screen. We spend so much time looking at screens outside of us. And so just seeing what pops up in your own mind. Noticing anything at all that you can smell, any aromas in the air. Even tasting the inside of your mouth. And feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. Maybe the texture of your clothes. The surface that is beneath you. And let yourself go fully into the surface that is supporting you. And allow yourself to let go into the safety and into the trust of the earth that is beneath you. Trusting that whenever you let go and fully relax your body, every single time you enter a deep state of sleep, you are never crushed and you never float away, but with the safety of the earth and gravity, you are always held exactly where you need to be. And the safety that comes included in your own anatomy, just with your skin holding everything where it needs to be. the beautiful design of your bones, muscles, joints, organs, skin, and everything in between. Absolutely everything about your body and your life has functioned perfectly enough to keep you alive up to this moment. And that in itself is a gift. Something that is noteworthy and worth appreciating. And so you can continue to feel all that is here for you to feel. Continue to soften your body into all it is that you are feeling. Allow for any emotional releases that need to come, to just open that valve and lighten your load just a little bit whenever the opportunity arises. As you listen to the following words that are written by young Pueblo in his book called The Way Forward. And just allow anything at all that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. If you need to take it slow, do so boldly. The speed of society can be exhausting. And I'll say it is exhausting. Technology can feel draining. The false sense of competition that exists in your mind can decrease your happiness. Personal success is more likely when you focus on your path and live without rushing. You have made immense progress. Your self-awareness has reached new levels. Your healing has made your mind less reactive, and you are now emotionally prepared for deeper connections. Storms and challenges came, but you are still standing strong. Keep doing what is right for you. I thought we would have more time. The end was not just unwanted, it was completely unexpected. When trouble arose, I hoped things would return quickly to normal. I was not ready to have a new chapter forced upon me and to be handed such a heavy feeling of loss. I must learn to tend to my heart in new ways because you are no longer there to help me hold it. All I have in front of me is the great task of creating a new idea of happiness and home. It was not time that healed you. It was your courage to feel everything you used to run from. Being with yourself and meeting your tension is hard, but it is the only way to release what has been bottled up inside of you. Your pain was simply asking for your attention. Let there be space between you and what you believe in. Attachment to what you think you know can harden you and stunt your growth. There are certainly things we can know, but knowledge is always incomplete in a universe that is ever changing. Ego does not enjoy evolution. It prefers sameness and control. The wisest among us say that ultimate freedom results from the release of all ideas, all knowing. Only then can we transcend and observe what is. There was something that I read that I wanted to add to, of sometimes your pain is simply asking for your attention. And I thought of this analogy a few years ago of sometimes pain is like a nagging child. And if you imagine a little kid who just wants their parents' attention and is just pulling on their arm saying, like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," just like, "Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me." And if you imagine what would happen if you were to just ignore that child completely and just pretend it's not there and it's not pulling on your arm and calling your name, the nagging would just get worse and it would turn into a full-blown temper tantrum, and the child would act out to a point where you no longer have the option to ignore them. And a lot of times our bodies can be very similar to that nagging child. And if when we first hear that nagging tug, or just that first inquiry from our body or from the child, if you imagine what would happen, it's they might just say, "Hi, hi, can you watch me do this thing?" Or "Watch me play over here," or "Can I have some water?" Maybe, or "I need a snack." And sometimes our body just needs some water or needs some rest, needs some form of attention. And the longer we ignore it and avoid it and don't look at it, the louder the nagging can get and the more impossible it becomes to ignore. And so we do have the option to notice when we are ignoring ourselves and those inner voices and our bodies and those signals that we receive, and choose to look instead, and just in a curious manner, like, what do you want? What do you need from me? And just seeing what happens. And so you can just take the next few moments now to allow your entire body to re-soften if any tension has crept back in. Allow all the muscles across your body to just ungrip from the bones, to soften around the bones, around your organs. And then just allow yourself to exist exactly as you do. Allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you felt today to settle within you. And feel a sense of trust with yourself and your own instincts, with your own intuition. And just trust that anything at all that you heard today or felt today that really resonated, felt helpful, struck a chord in some way. Just trust that that feeling often comes when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so you can allow these truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition, to trust your own instincts. And if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, and allow your heart to lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in to the rhythm of your own heartbeat, to the steady background beat of your entire existence. And take a final deep and full breath into the body and fill up the most you have today to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, let go of anything that you are ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. You take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And Taking a moment to bow to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you, including all your angels, spirits, guides, whatever it is you believe in. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.